Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. More Chicago Way for you. Here's where we're opening up one of the last of the factions that we've picked up for the game, just to kind of have a complete set of all the factions. We've looked at the others previously. Today we're taking a look at the Bootleggers, which brings some interesting tactics and abilities to the game, and kind of a different counterpart to the Gangsters. They're definitely all dressed up super fancy here. Going to be fun to paint these guys up, but they'll bring some interesting tactics, like I said, and firepower to the game as well. So we're going to get these guys open up for you. We'll take a look at everything inside, including their faction card, and see what their abilities are, and then more specifically home in on the miniatures. Again, looks really good. So we're excited to get into these. We'll be right back. Alrighty guys, we're back and we got these guys open. So they're an expansion faction for the game, moving on from the initial 4. So we get some special cards for them, right? Again, outside of the original faction, so beyond the original 4 card suits that are possible. Love that their symbol is basically a moonshine jug. Here we get their special stat card with their abilities. Again, we'll take a quick look at their abilities, but we're going to have a separate review video of the faction as well and break them down. Now, miniature-wise, really good stuff here. Again, we can kind of get the color version there. So all kind of dressed up in fancy suits for most of them, but then some of the lower-end guys, obviously, just kind of like overalls as well. And we get that aesthetic here. So we'll take a look at the front side there. There's our faction leader there. He's got the double pistols. So looking good there. Some of the lower end guys with just the pistols, very like short end, smaller pistols. Got our main man here with the double action shotgun. Another sort of mid-level guy here. We'll take a look again at basically it's nice how they're labeled too, right? Like the Racketeer's obviously the double pistol guy. Suits, hey, pretty easy. Suits, muscle, the guys in kind of jeans and overalls. Our lieutenant though, got options here for who that is. He can basically sport a pistol or the pump action shotgun if we want to spend some extra money. So we got those options there. Another lower end guy, and then the missus here with her really like snub nose pistol as well. So she's looking all fancy. So take a look here. Obviously, as always, there's going to be some mold lines and some trimming and stuff to deal with. No rifles in the faction here, so nothing like overly bent, thankfully, right off the get-go. Yeah, let's get these guys flipped over. Just take a look at the back end here. And again, we'll have a separate video focusing on them as a faction and how they will play. Oops. Get this man flipped over here. Just take a look at the back end. So again, a little bit of cleanup work, nothing too extravagant here. So all in all, really good minis here. Again, we're going to briefly just take a quick peek at their faction abilities here. But again, that'll be more for the review. They do have special rules for campaigns. Basically, there'll be a type of gangster for that. But they come with 2 main abilities, as most factions do. First one, let's get to business. Once per game at the beginning of the turn, before any characters are activated, the bootlegger player can swap 2 of their initiative cards with any other 2, including the opposing characters. That can be nasty, and really, that's once per game, right? So it's obviously going to be somewhat situational, but at the right time, there's going to be that time where, like, you as the opponent, like, hey, I've got this, this, and this with cards I've dealt, need to go in this order, hopefully to have a good turn, and really they can pull this once per game and just absolutely ruin the activation order. Maybe, hey, your boss is going first and he needs to cause a bunch of damage, or like one of your crucial special weapons, like a shotgun or something like that. Or BAR even, like they've got to go, and nope, they're going to go basically to the back of the turn order, depending on the cards that are dealt. So that can be absolutely nasty, and the fact that, again, you can swap for your own side that you're playing, always a useful ability, but then you can mess with the opponent as well, is just absolutely brutal, especially when pulled off at the right time. And then finally, maybe you just don't see the end of it. Once per game, when the bootlegger's opponent has taken and passed a big nerve test, again, situational, we got to have that, the bootlegger can force them to re-roll the test, and the second roll counts. So just absolutely nastiness there. So if you're already up to the point where, like, you've caused a lot of damage to the opponent, and they're forced to take that big test to essentially see if they even stay on the board, you can force a re-roll on that, which is ridiculous. So if they're in a bad way and that roll is going to be somewhat questionable to begin with, that feeling of like, oh my God, thank God we passed, we can keep playing, we didn't just forfeit. Just the ability to force that reroll when it happens, and maybe even just win the game or something off of that, is absolutely nasty. So these guys are all about messing with morale and turn order manipulation. So we'll get into that more when we do the review, but nasty faction. But looking forward to getting these guys cleaned up, ready for paint, and then hopefully over the next few months here, we're going to get you guys some battle reports for Chicago Way before we get to the end of the year, certainly. So looking forward to that. Let us know, guys, if you've picked up these guys for the game, overall thoughts on them. Have you gotten many games in? If not, if you're new to the game, take a look at Great Escape Games. They've got some fantastic stuff here. Basically the same rule set as Dead Man's Hand, with some modifications, of course, but a fantastic one nonetheless. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll have more for you soon. Thank you.